Hello everybody, how are we doing today? It's been a while, and by that I mean I think 3 days 4 days. Wow, what a crazy long period of time. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're having a good day, because today we are going to be going through all of the 25 Kirby games I played for the Kirby Marathon. And we're going to be ranking them in a nice little tier list, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So that's that. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I see a lot of people from the finale stream as well, and all that jazz, which is great. So this is the bonus Kirbathon stream. After this stream, I won't be live for the rest of the week. I don't think. I think I need a break. But I just wanted to do this just to chill and just to chill and all that. Thank you all for 760,000 subscribers, by the way. I just checked that out. That's pretty awesome. I need to get to a good song. I had a Kirby playlist. Did I really get rid of my Kirby playlist? Did I really get rid of my... We're not listening to Minecraft Dungeons. That works. Okay. So, I gotta get a haircut. Here we go. So, here is our list. I found it nice online. It was great. Yeah, Kirby game tier list maker. Here's all the ones that we did not play. We did not play through Superstar Ultra, but we played through I can't speak. We didn't play through Kirby Superstar Ultra, but we played through Kirby Superstar. We didn't play through Return to Dreamland, but we played through Return to Dreamland Deluxe. We didn't play through Extra Epic Yarn, but we played through Epic Yarn, you know. All that jazz. All that jazz. So these are the unplayed in the marathon, and the Kirby Jigsaw Puzzle. I'm not doing that one. There we go. Now I believe right here this is the Japanese exclusive Kirby Star Stacker. But I already have Kirby Star Stacker there, so I'm just gonna lump it in. So with that said, Are we all ready to go? And no 3DS games. Goodness gracious. I mean, as much as Kirby Fighters Deluxe, Team Kirby Clash Deluxe, Blowout Blast, Drum Dash Deluxe, that would be like $20 each. Not 20 bucks, 20 minutes each. That would be 20 minutes each to play through it. Anyways, with that said, let's organize our tiers here. All right. I think I want to keep it as these 5. I think that's a good one. I think this is top 3. I think this is top 3, the best of the best here. Right? Top 3. We'll put these as must plays. All right, we'll put these as must plays. Then we'll do fun times. I don't want to listen to Booty Base Galaxy. Oh, not even that one. Oh my god. Oh my. Not even that one. We got fun times. We'll say, give it a shot. You might like it. And then, never again. All right. Here are our tiers. You should make a bottom one specifically and only for Tilt and Tumble. I'll think about it. All right. I see. All right, so top 3, that got to be pink. Is that pink? That's. Okay. This is the closest we're gonna get. Top 3, must plays. Put that in green. Fun times, a gentle blue. All right, give it a shot. You might like it. We'll go. That'll be the orange. Unplayed. We'll just make this so it doesn't really stand out. And then never again, we'll have red. All right, here we go. I want to try and go in order. So could you guys go look at the description of this stream and tell me what was our first game after Kirby's Dream Land? Because I think it's Kirby's Adventure, but we're not going to talk about it. So, with that said, Kirby's Dream Land. All right. Kirby's Dream Land, the first Kirby game. We were done this one in, what, 40 minutes? Not a long game at all. You don't have copy abilities. You don't have too much. But at the same time, it's the first Kirby game. We're talking this release in 1992. Right? So that's pretty crazy. I think it's a classic. Classic but not top 3 fun time. I would say that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. I think just simply put, Kirby's Dream Land, super fun time. I don't think you need to play this game, but I think you should. I think it would be a good one. All right. Next up, we got Kirby's Adventure. Now, Kirby's Adventure took 2 streams to beat, actually. I remember. It introduced copy abilities. You had the world map. The level design was just very good all around. I will say some of the level design was a bit questionable, to say the least. Definitely in comparison to the newer games. But you end with the fight against Nightmare, the Fountain of Dreams. I think that's a must play. I think this one's a must play right there. I think if you are a Kirby fan, you should try out Kirby's Adventure. You know, I think that's it. Okay, next one after this was, I believe, Kirby's Dream Course. Let me... You know what? Screw it. Someone paste the entire thing in. Someone paste the entire order. I don't know if it goes over the character limit. I'm just going to organize it. Meta Knight was also in Kirby's Adventure. That is true. Kirby's Dream Course. Then we did Kirby's Avalanche. Then we did Dreamland 2. Then we did Star Stacker. And then what after Star Stacker? Let's see. Star Stacker was Dreamland 3. After Dreamland 3 was 64. Oh god, and then after 64 was Tilt and Tumble. Then after Tilt and Tumble, Nightmare in Dreamland. That wasn't Nightmare in Dreamland. Wait, where was Superstar? Oh shoot. Oh, it's after Kirby's Dream Land 2. Let's see. Hold on, it's very hard to read. Nightmare in Dreamland, Air Ride. Then after Air Ride... Oh god, I can read. I can read. I can do it. I have comprehension. Kirby Air Ride. Then that's the Amazing Mirror. Then after Amazing Mirror, it's... Oh god, it's Canvas Curse. After Canvas Curse, it's Squeak Squad, Epic Yarn, Mass Attack. And then after Mass Attack, I think I'm pretty set. Yeah, after Squeak Squad, I'm pretty set. Because after Mass Attack, what is it? After Mass Attack, it's Return to Dreamland. Then we go Triple Deluxe, Rainbow Curse, Planet Robot, Star Allies, Kirby Forgotten Land. Okay. There we go. They're all in order now. They're all in the order. Let's get some tunes on correctly. Okay. So, up next we have Kirby's Dream Course. And now, I'm gonna say, Kirby's Dream Course, honestly, it surprised me. It surprised me a ton. I was going into it saying, oh yeah, this is just Kirby Golf, right? First spin-off game in the Kirby series. And oh my goodness gracious. Alright? Oh my goodness gracious. I was not expecting to focus that much on it. I think I beat it in one stream. Or maybe it was 2. I forget. But it got pretty challenging. It got pretty difficult. And I actually had to think and use the mechanics of the game. It was pretty awesome. I haven't touched the 2-player mode of it at all because obviously you're not seeing anyone here. I make YouTube videos for a living. And overall, I just think it was a very, very fun time. I don't think I'll put it in must play, but I think I'd say play this if you want to play a Kirby game and your choices were Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Dream Course, or play a new Kirby game, I should say. Because if you haven't played a Kirby game, play the first one, obviously. But if you haven't played either of those games and you're a Kirby fan, you can play Kirby's Dream Course. Alright. So, next up is Kirby's Avalanche. And if you guys know anything about Kirby's Avalanche, you'll know that, oh my goodness gracious. I have this game physically. I have the physical cartridge of it. And I booted it up on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, as you do. And it's basically just Puyo Puyo. That's it. This was one of the cruelest experiences I have ever had in my video game career. And we haven't even gotten to that other game I'm going to mention. All right. It's just Puyo Puyo, right? But oh my goodness, if you were just playing it with a friend, that'd be perfectly fine. But the story mode, for some reason, the CPU players were either the easiest fight you've had in your life, or you would be stuck on it for ages. It was crazy. I still ended up beating the campaign, but I think the death counter went crazy during that. It was really fun getting it, and it was really fun going around, and I don't know, what am I saying? It was really fun doing all the puzzle stuffs, because it was obviously a big change from the Kirby gameplay. But I'd say, if you like Puyo Puyo, give it a shot, you might like it. But that's that. What's the name of this remix? Who's it by? This is Meta Knight's Revenge from the 8-Bit Big Band. I think it's won a Grammy, actually. So that's cool. All right. Next up, on the Game Boy again, we have Kirby's Dream Land 2. All right. So, Kirby's Dream Land 2, way better than Kirby's Dream Land 1. I would say it's better than Kirby's Adventure, but I feel like there's a few things kind of holding it back, at least in my experience playing it. And that one thing was I went for 100%. I went for 100%. Hi, Spooky. Hi, Spooky. I went for 100% completion because there was a true ending fight against Zero. Or no, just Dark Matter against Dark Matter. And I thought I was having a really fun time, you know, enjoying it. But then some of the, I think, rainbow drops, they were just so difficult to find. Or whatever it was, rainbow drops. I think that's what they were called. This was months ago now. And so I think I'm going to have to knock it down for that one. If you're specifically going for the true ending. And I feel like you should, because the original ending is just not really up to par. But it did introduce things like the animal buddies with Rick, Kine, and Koo. Those guys were awesome. They each had different copy abilities. Copy abilities were in this one, despite it being on the GameCube. That was the GameCube. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Copy abilities were introduced into this one, despite it being on the Game Boy. And it was great. It was great. I don't know if it's as good as Kirby's Adventure right now, but we're gonna put it in Dreamland 2. We're gonna put Dreamland 2 in Fun Times for now. All right. As for a game that is better than Kirby's Adventure, we have Kirby Superstar. All right, I'm just putting it out there. Kirby Superstar, boom, must play. This Kirby game is basically the Kirby game, I'll say. Every single time a game releases on the Super Nintendo in any series, I find that becomes the de facto structure for that game series. You look at Mario World, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, and Kirby Superstar. Earthbound even. Chrono Trigger. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But Kirby Superstar had so many different game modes. It tried something really cool with Milky Way Wishes. I like that a lot. And then it got referenced in the Smash Subspace Emissary and Brawl, but whatever. The Meta Knight's Revenge is probably one of my favorite Kirby modes. Just in general, even more so than any of like the side campaigns that happen nowadays. It's still one of my favorite Kirby campaigns. It's awesome. And I think what really made Kirby Superstar a lot better than, let's say, any of the ones we've talked about previously is the fact that you can input different directions for the copy abilities and they'll do different moves. You know, this is when you could finally do an uppercut with a sword in this game, and I thought that was pretty awesome. You know, Beam had the jumping attack as well as just the regular attack, and then you had the dash attack for the Beam, and it was really cool. Nova was there. Obviously, that's just a classic character right there. Meta Knight got a lot more of a character in this game. Tons of good stuff. Tons of good stuff. So it's a must play. You gotta play it. You gotta play it. As for a game that, you know, isn't as good, we have Kirby Star Stacker. Now, I will say, in the Japan only, in the Japan exclusive game, they had very, very funny images for the story, and that was great. But at the end of the day, it's just a fun little puzzle game. I don't think there's too much depth to it. I think in the amount of time I played Kirby Star Stacker and the other exclusive one, it was fun. It was fun. I think I wouldn't go back to play it. I think it was a fun time. But that's it. So, I'll put it above Kirby's Avalanche because it is an original kind of puzzle thing, I think. But give it a shot. You might like it. I don't think I'll be playing it again, but you know, you might. Now, next up, Kirby's Dream Land 3. All right. Now, Kirby's Dream Land 3. What do we think about Kirby's Dream Land 3? Because I think up to this point in the marathon, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, after the 7 games, Kirby's Dream Land 3 by far has the best soundtrack. All right. I think this game is better than Kirby's Adventure. I don't know if it's better than Kirby Superstar right now, but the visuals were fantastic. Just the levels were very fun. Each of them usually had a unique mechanic. I will say, yet again, with Kirby's Dream Land 2, it kind of suffers from the same problem of if you want to go for 100%, there is very odd things you need to do in each level. I was able to do most of it without a guide, thankfully. It does give you a little jingle whenever something's in the area that you need, and I think that's a good way of doing it. But it is a bit odd sometimes, and you might have to replay some levels to get fully... You might have to replay some levels to fully get 100% completion with all of the... I think it's just the hearts. I forget the collectible. Yet again, it's been months. But that one was really good. That one was really good. I'd say this goes above Kirby's Adventure. I don't think it beats out Superstar, looking back on it. But I do think Kirby's Dream Land 3, probably just gameplay-wise, it rivals. It was like Superstar and Dream Land 3, like this is close. This is close right here. This is really close. Now, as for a game that I didn't really think too much of until recently, you know, I didn't really think too much of it or anything like that. Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, might just be top 3. Might just be top 3, all right? It might be. It might be, all right? With Kirby 64, it kind of took... Obviously, with Kirby 64, it was the first 3D Kirby game, technically. It did 2.5D, obviously. You were still moving left to right, side-scrolling. But, you know, you had a bit more depth to it. And there was a bit more camera work and everything. They were having fun with a 3D perspective on the Nintendo 64. The music, this game as the best Kirby music yet. So, 64 beats out every other game and soundtrack up to this point. I'll say that easy peasy. Easy peasy. The way you can merge and mix copy abilities in this game, fantastic. Some copy abilities just suck. And then some are broken, like the fridge, right? Or the lightsaber. And this was also the first Kirby game I found where the bosses specifically really started to take more of a focus. And this isn't something we'd see until something like Return to Dreamland. But you would, you know, wait out the attacks, find the opening, counter attack, and so on. And it was just a really good flow of things. That was spectacular. Really like that. They did bring back the copy combinations in Star Allies, but it was not the same at all. In name alone, it was the same. As well as in Squeak Squad, but we'll get to that. So, with Kirby 64, I think the act of getting every collectible as well was a whole lot easier. Mainly due to the fact that you could just quit out a stage at any time and keep your copy ability. Which was great. Which was great. So I think, honestly, I'm thinking about this a lot. If I want to tell people a few Kirby games to play, I'm going to say 2 others, and then I'm going to say Kirby 64. So that's top 3. That's top 3. Welcome in, Infinite Excellence. Oh, and don't even get me started on the 0-2 fight. One of the most rewarding fights in the Kirby series. It's crazy. I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was. I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was, but it was a great time. It was a great time. And Ooey Gooey, welcome in. All right. Tilt and Tumble is top 3. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So next up, we have Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I'm doing that again. Next up, we have Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I never want to touch this game again. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, okay? Do not get me wrong. I'm sure at the time, Kirby Tilt and Tumble was great. It was meant to be played on a Game Boy, and you would tilt the Game Boy to tilt Kirby looking down at the screen like this. All right? If you are using a Switch 2 Pro controller to move Kirby, and you're trying to use it like a Game Boy, it does not work, all right? So, I'm just going to say, oh my god, I'm thinking about how many times I died in that. I lost count. And I just counted up 100. It was not a good time. It would be great on a 3DS game, but here's the thing. Kirby can only move in 4 directions. Kirby can only move in 4 different directions, or 8. I don't know. You don't have full 360-degree movement with whatever you were using for your motion controls. At least I think. But yeah, I'm never playing that game again. I don't think it's enjoyable. That is the one Kirby game that I just did not have a fun time for the most of it. All right. So that's that one. Next up, we have Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, all right? All right. Next up, we have Nightmare in Dreamland. And now, Nightmare in Dreamland is a remake of Kirby's Adventure. So you'd think I'd put it right there, right? So you'd think I'd put it right there in the must-play. But I will say, I don't know what it is, but I think the game being on the NES made it better to play Kirby's Adventure. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I'd put Nightmare in Dreamland. There's just a small separation between these two. But I'd say if you're going to play a version of Kirby's Adventure, you should just play Kirby's Adventure. If you've already played Kirby's Adventure and I want to try it out, it's a great game. Nightmare in Dreamland is such a fun time. It is such a fun time, and you can play it. That's just nostalgia bias. I played these games like a week apart. I played these games Like, oh, hold on. There, I play these games like a week apart. I must say the GBA version is a lot faster to run through, and I'd say easier than the original Kirby's Adventure. But I'd say because of that, you kind of lose out on some of the level design and everything. It's just a matter of perspective, because the camera's a bit more zoomed in, and in Kirby's Adventure, it's a lot more zoomed out. I think Kirby's Adventure on the NES is a better representation of it, and Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland was Kirby's Adventure on a portable system, and so it had to obviously change some things to be on a portable system. I think it's a fantastic game. I think you should definitely play it if you haven't played Kirby's Adventure. But if you had the choice to play Nightmare in Dreamland or Kirby's Adventure, you play Kirby's Adventure. All right, next up, Kirby Air Ride. Okay. Now, if this Kirby Marathon happened before 2025, I don't know what I'd do. Or sorry. If this game released before... What am I saying? Oh my god, I can't speak. If I did this marathon before 2025, Kirby Air Ride would instantly go on a must-play. It would instantly go on a must-play. However, we now have the existence of a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, and I don't know what to think, right? Because Kirby Air Ride is such a fun game. I played it for so long. When Kirby Air Riders got announced, I flipped my lid. I was going crazy, right? I said that this Nintendo Direct was made for me specifically, right? However, the existence of Kirby Air Riders basically, I'm not going to say invalidates Kirby Air Ride, but it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. Kirby Air Riders has all of the same maps as Kirby Air Ride and then some. The only thing that for me is worth it to go back to on the original Kirby Air Ride would be the original city trial map. And so I'm putting it in fun times. All right. You'll have a blast if you play Kirby Air Ride, but I think you know where Kirby Air Riders is going in this category. All right. So with that, now we're on Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Now, this game is very odd, I will say. It's very odd in the sense that there's no real level format. However, if I was not being guided by my oh dearest loyal chatters during my playthrough of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, I think I would have just been stuck. However, this game had 4-player multiplayer, and you could go and do the same thing at the same time and explore the world. And it was great. Does that make it better than something like Kirby Superstar, which had 2 players? No. Is the finale of Kirby Air... is the finale of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror kind of... Absolutely not. I just remembered you got the sword. That was pretty awesome. But for that reason, I think this game just does something really cool. You have to go find all the mirror pieces. I think it's just a really neat take on a Kirby game. I can see them revisiting this concept way, way, way down the line. But I really liked Amazing Mirror. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah. It was good. I liked it a whole lot. And I think if you are a Kirby fan, you should be playing this game. All right, next up. Oh my god. Oh, it's Kirby Canvas Curse. All right. I didn't like Kirby Canvas Curse all too much. Now, hold on. I don't think it's entirely the fault of Canvas Curse that I didn't like Canvas Curse, all right? I think the reason why I didn't like Canvas Curse as much was just because I had to play it on the Wii U gamepad, all right? And so the level design of Kirby Canvas Curse, compared to especially Rainbow Curse, which we'll talk about later, I just don't think the control scheme suited it very well. I think the level design and the mechanics of movement were clashing too much, because there would be one level where you need to navigate all these tightly wound areas, right? And even if there wasn't any obstacles, that would still be a challenge because of the control scheme. And then they decide to put spikes and you die in 4 hits, right? And I think that it can cause a lot of unnecessary frustration. So there's that. So I'm gonna put it in and give it a shot. You might like it. I'll put it on the high up end, because it is fun. It is fun to do. It is fun to play for a bit. But that's about it. All right. Next up, we got Kirby Squeak Squad. I think I beat this game in like 2 hours or something. And the next, a few of the games coming up here, or specifically one other one after Squeak Squad, had this crazy problem, all right, that I'm going to call the, oh, we need to make the game longer problem, all right? Kirby Squeak Squad, fun time. I'd put it like above Nightmare and Dreamland. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Squeak Squad. There was cool abilities. They had the like stomach kind of system and everything, and it was great. I had a fun time, right? I had a great time playing Squeak Squad. But then at the very end, they said, oh, we need all the magical thingies to get through the door or something. And I say, huh? What do you mean? Could this have not been brought up like at the very beginning of the game? What's happening? What's going on? And so there I am, trying to do everything, and I'm just like, what's happening? I need to go back and get all these things. And so, safe to say, I was a bit taken aback by that. And so that did set down the quality a bit for me, I'd say. You immediately look for Tilt and Tumble, goodness gracious. So I think that definitely set down the quality a bit for me, because now I need to go back and replay a bunch of levels that I already kind of ran through. And the final boss wasn't too good, but I mean it was all right. It was all right. Not the best Kirby final boss. We'll get to those in a minute, but yeah, it was a good one. All right, next up, no more funny business. It's Kirby's Epic Yarn. Kirby's Epic Yarn, it's a must play. I don't know where it is in the must play, but it's a must play. All right. You might think, and this is what I was thinking while going through and playing all these Kirby games. Oh, a Kirby game where you can't inhale enemies and use copy abilities. What in the world's going on here? What in the world? Surely this can't be any better than Return to Dream. Surely this can't be any better than Kirby's Dream Land. Because if we're judging based on copy abilities, there it is. Right? However, Kirby's Epic Yarn, I think, just warms the soul and heals the heart. It's not a difficult game at all. it's not a challenging game at all. But is it engaging every single step of the way? Absolutely. I can run through this game and just have the time of my life every single time. The level design is always so intuitive. The alternate power-ups you can get, like the tank, the penguin, the dirt bike. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, jammer, hold on. Let me switch to another one. And I think that's great. The vibes and soundtrack might be one of the best Kirby soundtracks. I don't know if it's better than like Dreamland 3. I don't know if it's better than Dreamland 3's soundtrack. But it's up there. I'd say this goes to top of must play, honestly. Actually, no. I'd put it there. I'd put it right in the middle. Because I wouldn't say it's a must play if you haven't played a Kirby game before. But I would say it is a must play if you're a fan of the series. You know? Okay. Next up, oh my god. Now, me and Kirby Mass Attack have a very, very complicated relationship. I was in New York at the time. And I picked up Kirby Mass Attack at the Nintendo store there. All the way back in 2010 when it released. And I was so excited. Or I don't even know if it was 2010 when it released. But I was so excited to play it. And I got to the first world, second world, something like that. And then I just stopped for some reason. You know? And it was fun. It was fun. And so I'm playing it for this marathon on the Wii U. And I'm playing through it. You know, I get to the very end part. And then the game tells me I need to go and play through every single stage to get the rainbow medals, right? And now normally that wouldn't be an issue, right? I was kind of speedrunning the game though. And I was speeding through all the levels and I found out exactly what levels to beat to unlock the next thing. Because for some reason, all of the rings in the world map, you only had to play one level to unlock the next stage. And it was just ludicrous, right? Because then, if you have these specific things to unlock the next batch of stages, but wait, you actually need to play through all of the stages, then why have the ring system at all? Why have the ring system in any capacity if you need the player to play through every single stage to beat the game? You know? Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm going crazy. But that was such a damper on my whole experience. And it also suffers from the same level design problem as Kirby Canvas Curse. And so for that, I think give it a shot. You might like it, but know that you do have to collect something in every single stage. And the game won't tell you that until you are at the very end of the game, basically. And I think that's crazy. Also, I don't know why the chat is disconnecting so much today. Odd one. There we go. All right. So that's that one. So that's that one. Oh my god, the chat is disconnecting all today. And I'm not playing Gentle Breeze. I'm not doing Gentle Breeze. All right. Next game, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, all right? Kirby's Return to Dreamland and Return to Dreamland Deluxe are in my top 3 Kirby games. I'd say they're my favorite. I did go through this whole game controlling 2 players at once because you guys met the subscription goal, which was great. But here's the thing. I don't think it's top 3. I hate to say it, I don't think it's top 3. This game probably has, in my opinion, some of the best levels in the entire series, some of the best soundtracks in the entire series, a majority of the best boss fights in the series, or not a majority, some of the best boss fights in the series. And it's such a great package. It's such a phenomenal package of a game, especially Return to Dreamland Deluxe because it has the Magolor epilogue, but I'm not counting that because I didn't play it. It's my favorite Kirby game, but I don't think it's top 3. I don't think it's top 3. I see 2 games down here that do some things that Return to Dreamland did better. All right. It's going to top of must plays. It's going to top of must plays. This is the Kirby game we're talking about. As much as Kirby Superstar laid the groundwork for a bunch of Kirby games to come, Kirby's Return to Dreamland is the new standard for quality. And some games match that quality, some games exceed that quality, and then some games match that quality but not quite. They're getting there, but not quite. And that game is Kirby Triple Deluxe, because that's going behind Epic Yarn. It's a must play. I think you should, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Oh, can I skip the music? Hold on. I need a chill tune. I need a chill tune for this. Oh my god. Charlie didn't try not to skip a song challenge. Alright. Kirby Triple Deluxe is a phenomenal game. It is great. It's such a fun time. However, I think when you compare it to something like Return to Dreamland, it falls short. The level design is great. There's a lot of cool things here. There's the foreground and background elements. However, I think because the game was on a handheld device, they couldn't really push the series and push the level design as much as they wanted to. Especially because this was the first game on the 3DS. Right? I think the story of the game was pretty cool. I think the ending was phenomenal. I thought that was great. Not as good as Return to Dreamland's ending, because Kirby's Return to Dreamland's ending kind of set the staple for Kirby game endings. But I think Kirby's Triple Deluxe was great. I think the Hypernova gimmick was very fun. Do I think it was as fun as super abilities and then the another dimension chase sequences? No, but I think it was fun there. And so I think that's a good spot. I think that's a good spot. Now, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. This game is so funny, all right? It's so funny. Because what do you mean if you die enough times on a stage, you can skip it? What do you mean? I think that's just ludicrous. I think that's just crazy. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. It's great. I think the level design and the movement of Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, they looked at Canvas Curse. Casey chatters is pre-recorded. I can see it. The art style, fantastic. One of my favorite art styles. We have the level design. It's a lot more open. There's a lot more free space. There's a lot more screen real estate. Specifically because it was on the Wii U and you had the more widescreen resolution to go off of. The bosses were very fun. I enjoyed those a lot. They weren't just little mini games like in Canvas Curse. Until the final boss, that is. And I think overall this is a lot more of a focused experience. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing through the game. And I can't say that for some parts of Canvas Curse. So for that, it's going at the bottom of fun times because it still has that unconventional control scheme. But it's good. It's a fun time. And I think that's pretty cool. You know? And now this next game. Kirby Planet Robobot. I'm just putting it out of the way now. It's top 3. All right, it's top 3. Easily top 3. All right. This game saw what Triple Deluxe didn't really do too well. It saw what Return to Dreamland did very well, and then said, you know what? Let's go look at Kirby 64 as well, and let's do some of that too. So, more varied camera work, more 2.5D elements from Kirby 64, better bosses. The boss fights in this game, I think the worst boss fight in this game is probably World 1, World 2, probably World 5, but even that was very entertaining. Or World 2, right? Kirby Planet Robot's soundtrack, we're listening to it right now on the stream, but Kirby Planet Robot's soundtrack is fantastic as well. I think the theming of this game, was very, very strong. Probably up there with Kirby's Epic Yarn and even Rainbow Curse in terms of visual identity. Yeah, the whole mechanized areas and settings, it's great. Enjoyed it a whole lot. The story was great. The ending specifically was fantastic. It was great. I don't think it's better than Return to Dreamland Deluxe's ending. But if I tell you that it is not just such a good... Oh. But I cannot look at you right now and say that Kirby Planet Robot had a better ending than Return to Dreamland. But I can tell you that it's probably the second best, right? So I think Kirby Planet Robot, it's probably the best Kirby game they've made so far. I'm putting it over Kirby 64. And yeah, it's fantastic. Kirby Star Allies, on the other hand, yeah, it's fun. It's good. The soundtrack of Kirby Star Allies, whew! Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Kirby Star Allies is a really, really good game. But I do think that playing it solo specifically is not the intended way to experience the game. I think that you need to play this with 4 other people in order to have the best experience. And yeah, there's the lore. Who cares? All right, who cares? All right. I think the story of this game is a lot weaker than something like Kirby Planet Robobot or even Kirby Return to Dreamland. And so that's that. 4 other... Oh. You can play with 4 people. And while I think this has a lot of cool lore implications for the Kirby series, I don't think the story's better than something like Robobot or Return to Dreamland, or even Epic Yarn and Triple Deluxe. I think that it was more so meant to be a game to kind of bring Kirby to the Switch 2. Obviously, it's in 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second. I hope it gets an update, bumping it up to 60, because the game just looks visually gorgeous. I think it's a fun time. I'd probably put it right under Kirby Air Ride. I think ever since Return to Dreamland came out, there's definitely been a huge rise in quality of the Kirby series, and I think it's fantastic. But this next game, though, holy moly. Holy moly. All right. Holy moly. Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed World. They have them separately. I'm adding them together. This is the best-selling Kirby game of all time. And for good reason. it's a very, very, very good video game. I'd even say it's top 3. We're adding Star-Crossed World in there as well. Without Star-Crossed World, I'd say I'd swap Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I'd swap those two. But the Star-Crossed World and the 60 frames per second thing on the Switch 2, it's just great. I don't really know how much to say it's great before you believe me saying it's great. But this was the first 3D Kirby game, the first fully 3D Kirby game. And it just translated the gameplay of the 2D game so well into 3D. It was crazy. It was crazy. And obviously you had all the copy abilities. They worked really well in 3D. The overall gameplay was great. The music. Oh my god, the music was so good. Grayson says, FPS doesn't make a better game. Wrong. Makes it more appealing to look at. Also wrong, alright? When you're running a game at 30 frames per second in comparison to 60 frames per second, it's not just the game that is visually updating every 30 frames, right? It is not just that. It is also your inputs being updated every 30 frames. So if I wanted to mash at something in 30 frames a second, the fastest I could go was 15 presses per second, because you have to go down, up, down, up, down, up on every single frame, right? If it's 60 frames per second, all of a sudden you can put in way more inputs per in 60 frames per second. In 60 frames per second, you can input more inputs per second. It's not just a visual thing. It has something to do specifically with the fluidity of the game itself, which is why so many times I will always prefer playing a game in 60 frames per second if it's like at a lower resolution, or compared to a high resolution and a lower frame rate. Random aside, I was playing Spider-Man 2. You guys saw the short today because you're subscribed, right? Good. Moving on, right? I was playing the game. I didn't realize, I'm like, this game kind of feels sluggish. Like, what's going on? It kind of feels odd. And I noticed that quality mode was on for the game. Playing at like a higher resolution, but 30 frames per second. And I say, what the heck? I put it to performance mode, which bumped it to 60 frames per second, and instantly I felt a difference. My movements felt snappier, and it was great. So I think for that reason, the Switch 2 upgrade specifically made Kirby and the Forgotten Land way better. And so that is why it is there. And the Star-Crossed World expansion, the best levels in the game are in that expansion. And I will say the music, oh my goodness gracious, the music of both Star-Crossed World and Kirby and the Forgotten Land, just fantastic. I think it's another one of the best Kirby soundtracks. I think that these 4 games, Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Planet Robobot, Forgotten Land, and 64, I think they have the best soundtracks in the series. And now we get to our final game, Kirby Air Riders, right? Now, Kirby Air Riders, obviously, it's a game that has a very special place in my heart, and that's not just because I got sponsored to talk about it. It's because I've been wanting a sequel to Kirby Air Ride ever since it released. Right. So basically my entire life, because I released when the game did. And so I'm struggling to think of a good spot to put this game. I really am. Because at the same time, it's a fantastic video game. But it's a Kirby spin-off. It's not the main Kirby game. So I think because of that, I can't put it too high on the must-plays, but I do think it is a must-play. So, with that, I'd say I'd put it above Kirby's Epic Yarn. I'd say I'd put it above Kirby's Epic Yarn and leave it at that. I think this game has just phenomenal gameplay. So much happens. 16-player city trial is something I would have never dreamed of when I first played the original Kirby when I first played the original Kirby Air Ride. So yeah. There it is. There it is. I think if you are someone who wants to get into the Kirby series, the first game you should play is Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Or, sorry, I lied. If you are someone new to the Kirby series and want to play one game, just off rip, you want to play one game to get the gist of the entire Kirby series, you play Return to Dreamland. That is the video game to play. It's at the top of must-plays for a reason. Now, granted, Planet Robobot, Forgotten Land, and Kirby 64 are also in the must-plays, but they're in an upper echelon of quality. Right? Crystal Shards does not deserve top 3. I don't know. I think that Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and you know what? Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. There we go. What do you think about that? This looks good to me. Top 4. I can't decide. It's top 4. It's my list. But there we have it. We obviously have the games that were not played, so we'll like drag these out. Oh, how do I put them back? How do I kind of delete this row? There we go. There's our list. In the Never Again tier, Kirby Tilt and Tumble. In the Give It a Shot, You Might Like It tier, we have Mass Attack, Avalanche, Star Stacker, and Canvas Curse. In the Fun Times tier, we got Rainbow Curse, Dreamland, Dream Course, Dreamland 2, Nightmare in Dreamland, Squeak Squad, Star Allies, and Air Ride. And then the must-play Kirby games go as follows. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Triple Deluxe, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Kirby Air Riders, Kirby's Dreamland 3, Kirby Superstar, and the 4 best Kirby games you can ever play. And this is ordered, by the way. But ask me tomorrow and it'll change again 100%. Is Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Kirby in the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed World, the Switch 2 edition, and Kirby Planet Robobot. That's the list. And that's what I discovered during the Kirby Marathon, folks. 42 streams. And that's the method. And that is the method. So yeah, that's about it. I should probably take a screenshot. There we go. Screenshot for my records. There we go. But with that said, everyone, that is going to be the end of the stream, which is pretty solid. I think that is pretty cool. And with that, the Kirby Marathon, it's officially done. There's the Kirby model there. It's all done. Will I do another marathon? Maybe, because there was a specific special edition console that might have gotten leaked today. And yeah, this tier list video specifically will be a video, so look forward to it. But yeah, with that said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching the Kirby Marathon. It was great. It was fantastic. And yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to be streaming for a while. Expect me maybe next week, unless there's like a Nintendo Direct. Then I'll obviously go live. Honestly, there's probably going to be one Thursday. I'm calling right now. Or next week. Yeah. But with that said, thank you all so much for watching. And a quick reminder right before I go to drink your water, take care of yourselves, and of course, be nice because it is not that hard. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.